What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC Fight Night, Cowboy versus Gaethje from Vancouver, British Columbia, just happened this past Saturday. Of course, headlined by Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Justin. Was it the highlight Gaethje? And as expected, as I expected, Gaethje got the win. Didn't know it would be a first round finish, but it was a great finish. He's on a run, man. Gaethje, not only is he fun to watch, once he hit the UFC, he showed why he is so fun to watch, that he, one, has an amazing chin, very much like a Chris Lieben kind of type, but hits hard as hell, apparently has wrestling credentials that I have never seen. He likes to stand and bang, and you have to suffer his damage to be able to put him out. The few people in the UFC that have been able to win against Gaethje really had to. I mean, they didn't come out unscathed either. Gaethje throws a lot of low leg kicks that damage people. He hits like a Mack truck. And it was just something I didn't think Cowboy would be able to get through. Cowboy, amazing fighter, but he's not the most consistent when he's in the octagon. He usually goes on runs where he looks really great. He takes so many fights short notice and just so many fights in general that every once in a while you'll see him come in and he just doesn't, it just doesn't seem like he's there, let's just say. And I didn't know if that was going to be the type of Cowboy that we were going to see, but I just couldn't see Cowboy. He tends to get, like, when he starts to lose in a fight, he tends to get in his own head and just kind of becomes his own worst enemy. And I thought Gaethje would put him there. I didn't think Cowboy would be able to necessarily start getting the upper hand and win it against Gaethje. But it was a great fight nonetheless. Great card overall. It was an ESPN Plus card, which was nice. Co-main event, Glover Teixeira versus Nikita Krylov was a fun fight. Glover somehow, it was mostly his grappling abilities, but he's still in it, I guess. Not the most. He beat Krylov for sure. It was a split decision, but I don't know. It was a big win for Glover Teixeira, but I don't see him getting like a belt. I don't see him going on a run to win the belt. He seems like he might just be like that gatekeeper kind of guy for the light heavyweight division. Todd Duffy back against Jeff Hughes was looking fairly decent. Seemed like he added more grappling to his game over the past 4 years. Still throwing hard, but there was an eye poke up against the cage. And, the eye poke itself during the replays didn't look horrible, but he stopped the fight. He said he saw a double, and they stopped the fight. And pretty much, as far as eye pokes go, I think my stance on all of the fouls in UFC is that immediately when they happen, we see the fucking replay. Immediately when they happen, whether it's a nut kick, a fence grab, a eye poke, like all these things that are illegal, they should have automatic points taken away. I've started to see more refs do that, especially with eye pokes and things, and even in groin kicks, and it seems like referees are starting to slowly do the thing that they should be doing when somebody fouls and just take a point. But yeah, this one, it wouldn't have mattered if they took the point anyway. It was a no contest. Not really impressive with Todd Duffy. We'll see. I would not be surprised if he got cut from the UFC. Would not be surprised if that's the last time we see him. Before that, it was Tristan Connelly versus Michael Pea. And Pea was doing backflips off of the scale at weigh-ins, doing backflips in the cage, doing breakdancing. He looked like he was fighting 2 weight classes above Connelly. Connelly coming in on 5 days' notice. Normally a lightweight fighter, but fighting at a catch weight of 172. Is supposed to be for, what is that, middleweight? or not middleweight, feather. No, I don't. Welterweight, whatever 170 is. It was supposed to be 170. Pea looks like a light heavyweight in there. But Tristan Connelly put on a performance that reminded me a lot of Frankie Edgar. Just a lot of jabs, a lot of movement. Was able to get Pea gassed. I mean, Pea got himself gassed doing flips and just nonsense during the first round. But it was a great win, man. I was like so stoked for Connolly. It's just one of those underdog fights where, they throw him in. He's a hometown guy, so they kind of save the card in a bit that way. The other guy comes in way overweight. He's just gigantic. And the tiny underdog Connolly puts it on him and gets the win. It was a good unanimous decision win for Connolly. Uriah Hall somehow got a win. Again, I don't think Carlos Jr. won that fight. He was able to get the back of Uriah Hall, but really wasn't able to do anything with it. So aside from that, I think Uriah Hall was winning on the feet, hit him pretty hard, was able to avoid a lot of the grappling from Shoeface, even though I am a huge Shoeface fan. Misha Serkinov versus Jimmy Crute was all right. Peruvian necktie, pretty good submission for that. But overall, fun fight, fun card. But next week is a UFC Fight Night, Rodríguez versus Stevens from Mexico City, September 21st. Yair Rodríguez coming back against Jeremy Stevens. I think that should be a great card. I think Yair will probably get it. I think this is going to be a good matchup for him. Both stand-up fighters. Yair, much more dynamic. And I think we'll be able to avoid a lot of Stevens' heavy shots and be able to impose his will. Co-main is women's strawweight, Carla Esparza versus Alexa Grasso. Esparza's looked good. When she came into the UFC, she was just wrestling and grappling. Her striking looked like shit, but she's definitely evolved her game and looked a lot better. So I would imagine Esparza's going to get it, but you never know. Grasso could come in and shock the world. Then you have Brandon Moreno versus Askar Askarov. Don't know. Martin Bravo versus Steven Peterson. I don't know. The rest of the card is Angela Hill is back against Ariane Carnelossi. Paul Craig is still in the thing. Betchka Hea is still fighting in UFC. I would imagine Sajara Eubanks if she makes weight. I guess at bantamweight. So this is a good fight for Eubanks. If Eubanks can't beat Betchka Hea, then what are you doing? You want to talk about somebody highly touted going to the UFC and Sajara Eubanks and just kind of falling flat a lot of the time, not being able to make weight, just not winning fights necessarily. But this one should be an easy win for Eubanks against Betchka Hea. And I would not be surprised if Correa gets cut if she loses this fight. Same thing with Paul Craig. Angela Hill's kind of been on a skid. She definitely looks good, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of cuts after this next card. But yeah, another fight card. This another ESPN Plus card. Which is always nice to be able to just turn on ESPN Plus. I don't have cable, so when fights are on ESPN, I have to do a lot of finagling with different apps and Fight Pass and all kinds of different things to be able to watch the fights. So when it is on ESPN Plus, it's a lot more effortless to put it on and enjoy the fights. But yeah, great card last night. Big win for Gaethje, and hopefully he gets. I would not mind seeing him fight Khabib. I think we definitely would see Gaethje's wrestling in that time, but we'll also see some great fights. But also wouldn't mind seeing him fight Conor. MMA media is ridiculous lately. It's like before the Khabib Poirier fight, every fighter was like, yes, Tony Ferguson's next. When Khabib won, instantly MMA media interjects like, oh, maybe GSP. Oh, maybe a rematch with Conor McGregor. They always have to mention Conor McGregor in their articles because they know it gets clicks. Just having his name in there gets clicks. So every article, Gaethje after his win, who do you think it should be, the Irishman or the Dagestani? It's like, well, the Irishman's retired, so I'm going to fight the Dagestani. And it's like, motherfucker, all MMA media is like, is Gaethje going to fight McGregor next? I don't know. Wouldn't mind seeing it, but would rather see him fight for the belt. I think that's a good matchup after Tony Ferguson gets the fight, as it were. New episodes of this show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!